And we're back, day 2 of PCA in Vegas, my first time. Bill's out talking to people as he always does and left me in the back. First time we've been in one of these special rooms, and we couldn't be happier because we're smoking a brand new cigar. We'll touch on that in just a little bit. But everyone, first, I would like you to meet Jeff from Crux Cigars. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Randy. Glad to be here. This is my, actually, I think this is technically my 30th show between RTDA, IPCPR, and now PCA. So, happy to be here.
All right, very good. And before we get to the brand new cigar that Bill and I were just smoking, let's talk a little bit about your history. Got a little bit of a backstory now from Bill about your cigar store up in the Twin Cities area. And the first question is, what do you attribute your success from going successful retail to now launching your own cigar line, which, if you've ever been to our shop, you know sells like hotcakes with the Crux Cigars?
Well, I think years of experience being a retailer, I always knew that I wanted to have my own cigar brand. High taxation in the state that I was in kind of forced me into that hand a little bit sooner. And but when that antenna's up there, you want to do something different. You want to take in as much information as you can. And so what I was always looking for is what could we do if I was a brand owner that would obviously sell more cigars, because that's what a retailer's looking for. It's not, the relationship's one thing, but what is that manufacturer doing? What rung of the ladder are they putting you on? And so every thought, every element went into how do we make the job easier for the retailer to sell our brand. There's so many brands that come to market. These humidors walk-in humidors are large in many cases. And so in a sea of brown, what could we do to stand out? And so obviously the quality of the cigar, using the very best of the best tobaccos, that's a different conversation. And we truly do use the best of the best. We have 2 great manufacturing partners in both Plasencia and AJ Fernandez. And so we wanted to create packaging that was clean, that was elegant, that was timeless, that's easy to grab, and more importantly, we want to make sure that when stores were busy, you could walk in the humidor, you could immediately find a Crux lineup of cigars, and then on the boxes themselves, we have flavor icons, so you get a little, what does this cigar taste like? What do I expect? And I understand that all palates are somewhat subjective, but it's amazing. We did an actual panel of smokers on all of our blends, and we looked at that flavor wheel, and we found those certain tastes and flavors on that color wheel. And so anyway, you're going to see that on the Crux packaging on the inside lid, whether it's cocoa or walnut or whatever it is. And then the other thing is you'll see a strength meter, and that's really kind of a strength/body meter. So to wrap it up, I think the biggest thing is we're always asking a retailer, what can we do better? How can we be a better partner? And we call our Crux retailers, we don't just call them retailers, we call them partners, because it's truly a long-term relationship. And our goal is to build this company by decade through feedback from the end consumer to the retailer and then to us.
And then we just had a very successful event at our shop. Tony was in, and we had Wild Bill Days where we just about sold out of product. I think we were less than 2 boxes left on the shelf. Of course, we just sat down and ordered a whole bunch right now. And one of the ones that I'm about halfway through, the brand new EPICURE Habano. Can you tell us just a little bit about why that was the new profile you chose to go with, and a little bit about the actual specifics in that new cigar?
So yes, as you mentioned, the EPICURE Habano is our 3rd release in the EPICURE line. The word epicure, which we own the trademark in the U.S. for the word epicure, it really kind of encompasses what cigar smoking is. It's someone that enjoys the finer things of life. So different than some other cigars that we create, the epicure, we wanted to create a trilogy. And sometimes when you're building cigars, you kind of build from the top down, meaning you find a really great wrapper, and then you try to find a binder and some fillers that really work with that wrapper so it's complemented. What's uniquely different about the EPICURE is the fillers, or let's call it the chassis, in car speak, it's called the chassis, is the same from each of those EPICURE lines, in the Connecticut, the Maduro, and now the Habano. The only thing different is the wrapper or the hood. So we got a different hood. What we found with this EPICURE blend, and it's a small farm that comes outside of Condega, Nicaragua. It's called Pueblo Nuevo. and it's such great filler. It's reminiscent of so many countries that have really clean tobacco with a little bit of creaminess and a little bit of cocoa and some nuttiness. And we just found out you take any wrapper, it doesn't matter if we put Connecticut, San Andreas, Habano from Ecuador, Habano from Jalapa. You could use broadleaf from Cameroon. I'm kind of getting into some wrappers that may come on those cigars in the future. But anyway, we wanted that trilogy of kind of a light, medium, and full. The Habano is the closeout of that trilogy. That wrapper does come from Jalapa, Nicaragua. Just started shipping 2 weeks ago, selling like crazy.
All right, very good, and we will be looking forward to it. It's going to be on the shelves at Deadwood Tobacco Company very soon. Make sure you stop on and do that. And then, of course, for our customers that come into our shop a lot are from the 5-state region, and if they want to check out, well, I'm just going to call it the home of Crux Cigar in the Twin Cities. Jeff, where should they go find you and the team?
The home where Crux, it was born in Minnesota, of course, made in Nicaragua. I started off as a retailer in Maple Grove, Minnesota, Tobacco Grove. Most of the retailers, I think pretty much all but one, carry the Crux brand. I believe they all are getting shipped the Habano as well.
Very good, Jeff. Thanks very much. Appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to having the new EPICURE Habano in the shop so our customers can try it as well. And we'll be back with another 90 seconds, well, more like 6 minutes of blowing smoke. It is the Deadwood Tobacco Podcast. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll be back more live from PCA 2023 in just a little bit.